Have you ever heard of a ghost farm hiding on the shores of Georgian Bay? What if I told you this place holds the key to one of Canada's most important, yet completely forgotten, historical figures? We're not talking about prime ministers or famous generals. We're talking about a man who stood against one of the greatest injustices in human history, right here in Ontario. His name was Captain Charles Stuart, and his story has been almost completely erased from our history books. Today, we're heading to Lora Bay, a place known for its beautiful scenery and luxury homes. But beneath the surface lies a deep mystery. Over 150 years ago, this land belonged to Stuart, a fiery abolitionist whose radical ideas were centuries ahead of their time. So why don't we know about him? Why has his incredible legacy vanished, leaving behind only whispers of a ghost farm? Join me as we peel back the layers of time to uncover the untold story of the man who tried to change the world from a small cabin on the Canadian frontier. Charles Stuart wasn't born in Canada. He was born in Jamaica and spent his early life in Ireland and England. A former soldier in the East India Company, he was a man of deep conviction and unwavering principles. When he arrived in Upper Canada in the 1830s, he wasn't just looking for a new life. He was on a mission. The fight against slavery was raging across the British Empire and the United States, and Stuart was determined to be on the front lines, even from the remote wilderness of Ontario. While many historians focus on the American abolitionist movement, figures like William Lloyd Garrison or Frederick Douglass, they often miss the vital role that Canadians played. Stuart was one of the most dedicated of them all. He settled near what is now Thornbury, on a piece of land with a stunning view of Lora Bay. But he wasn't there to admire the scenery. He was there to make a statement. Stuart's activism was radical for his era. He didn't just write letters or give speeches, though he did plenty of that. He lived his beliefs in a way that few others dared. His most powerful protest was something he called the free produce movement. Think of it as the 19th century version of fair trade or ethical consumerism. Stuart refused to buy, use, or consume any product that was made with enslaved labor. This meant no sugar in his tea, no cotton for his clothes, unless he could be absolutely certain it was produced by free people. Imagine the difficulty of this in the 1840s. The global economy was built on the backs of enslaved people. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, coffee, these were everyday staples. By rejecting them, Stuart was not just making a personal sacrifice. He was directly challenging the economic engine of slavery. He wrote extensively about it, urging others to join him, arguing that every dollar spent on slave-made goods was a dollar that supported the brutal system. He wanted people to understand that their consumption had moral consequences, an idea that is incredibly relevant even today. His connections back to the UK were crucial. He was a close friend and confidant of some of the leading British abolitionists, like William Wilberforce. He constantly corresponded with them, sharing strategies, providing updates from North America, and pushing the movement to be more radical and uncompromising. He acted as a bridge between the British and American anti-slavery societies, using his home in Canada as a base of operations. He even traveled to the UK to lecture and raise support for the cause, becoming a powerful international voice for abolition. But what happened to his property, his farm on Lora Bay? This is where the story takes a mysterious turn. Stuart's farm has vanished. After his death, the land was sold and resold. The original cabin, the fields he cleared, the place where he lived out his radical principles, it's all gone. Today, a high-end golf course and residential community stand where his farm once was. There's no plaque, no monument, no sign at all that one of Canada's most significant human rights activists once lived there. Local historians and descendants of the area's early settlers sometimes refer to it as the ghost farm. It's a place that exists in records and old maps, but has no physical trace. It's as if Stuart's presence was deliberately scrubbed from the landscape. Why? Perhaps his ideas were too radical, even for his fellow abolitionists. He wasn't just against slavery. He was a fierce advocate for racial equality, something that made many people uncomfortable at the time. He believed in full integration and equal rights for Black people, a position that was far from mainstream. Did his radicalism make him a figure that later generations found easier to forget? It's a chilling thought. By erasing the physical location of his life's work, it becomes easier to erase the man himself from our collective memory. His farm isn't just a lost piece of property. It represents a lost piece of our history, a lost opportunity to celebrate a true Canadian hero who fought for justice. So what is his legacy? On the surface, it might seem like he failed. Slavery wasn't ended by the free produce movement, and his name is largely unknown. But that's not the whole story. Stuart's true legacy lies in the people he inspired and the principles he championed. He was a mentor to a young Theodore Dwight Weld, who would go on to become one of the most effective and influential American abolitionists. Stuart's passionate arguments and unwavering moral clarity helped shape the entire movement. His life teaches us that history is not just made by the famous and the powerful. It's also made by individuals with immense courage who are willing to stand for what's right, even when they stand alone. Charles Stuart lived a life of purpose, dedicated to a cause greater than himself. He demonstrated that one person, living by their convictions, can make a difference, even if the world doesn't remember their name. The story of the ghost farm at Lora Bay is a powerful reminder that history is all around us, often hidden in plain sight. It challenges us to look deeper, to question the stories we're told, and to search for the forgotten heroes who shaped the world we live in today. The next time you hear about Canada's role in the fight against slavery, remember the fiery activist from that ghost farm on Georgian Bay. Remember Captain Charles Stuart. Thanks for joining me on this journey into Canada's hidden history. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of any other forgotten heroes we should investigate. See you next time.